Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is ExperiencePoints, and we are back with the final Blackturn Northern Branch campaign mission. After that, we're going to have a look at Army Group Center and Army Group South. But here we are at Lake Ladoga. So let's see what happens at the lake. And here we go. You may recognize some of the previous objectives there from the last mission, which is really nice when you can see that continuity built in there. In the last mission you had to take this place here, this place here, this place here, and I believe you took something which was down here. This time we have different objectives. So we have a turn 4, which is Leningrad itself, 2 places or 2 bridges, which is turn 6s, and a 7, which is out here. As far as supply, we have a 6, a 16, a 6, and an 8. So that's not too bad. I need to get to it. To begin with, I always like to use my airstrikes here. Now, I have restarted this game a few times because I want to clear weather on all my battlefronts, particularly up here. What you do up here is going to make a significant impact, because we are going to play this mission like like we're starving off the enemy supply, like an Axis, like a Soviet mission played as the Axis. Over here, we want to do our best to get rid of this unit. Send the German motorized from the south, and we're going to try to bury off their supply down here. Now over here I'm going to send these units, or at least this unit so far up here. We need to reconnect the supply, which is these 2 hexagons here, because out here we're going to get really starved if we don't. So I make a particularly conservative or determined effort, and I'm going to take this unit over here. So 3 units go east, 1 unit goes west. We are going to be all over the place here, unfortunately, but do the best we can to describe what's happening. We are trying to break this unit here. Is quite weak. We want to reinforce our parts here. We can't really progress any more over here, but we did take this hexagon, and we're going to attack this one the next turn. These units are quite strong up here, so we do want to make a good effort down into here. And also seeing what we can do to sort of cause a wedge down their forces. They are supplied out over here, I do believe, which is not really possible to starve any of these units, but we can at least make it a lot harder for them to move. These units are quite strong with the 4-3, which are German infantry comparable. That's quite nice. Our unit survived over here. This unit is going to get pounded because they're going to want to swing down and take off my my supply source or my connection to it. So you need to make sure about that. That's why I didn't move these units across the bridge. I don't believe they will attack across the river, but you move this guy and they are likely to try to cut you off. So at the moment we need to keep these units over here. Okay, so the enemy just seems to be trying to really put their best foot forward. Nothing too drastic. Put these guys back into supply, and they'll be next to a river, so they will be. That was a bit silly, taking a less powered unit. So over here we want to now connect up our supply, so we're going to use our airstrikes. If we can take the objective here, brilliant. Here we go. I attacked with a weaker unit, thinking that maybe we can use a stronger unit to try to take their unit that's back here, because he entrenched, which means he was 2 parts down. Now we can't do anything else here, so we're going to try to attack from the north. We got a confinement there, which was great. Now we're just going to occupy so many more units around that, and see what else we can do to dig our way down. Perhaps if we could go all the way into through here, that would be great, but I don't think we're going to destroy this unit. So fortunately not. Down here I got very fortunate and I cut off the supply, so I was able to progress these troops forward. As you do know, we were always able to cut off these units from supply, which was quite handy. And if I kill this unit next turn, there's been no real problems there. Just coming back here to make sure they can't cut off this supply source here. As you see, we have the supply on the river. We didn't need to take this one because there were two adjoining railroads here. Okay, just making sure that river is going to be... So yeah, our rail is going to be fine. And then we do want to think about coming up here because there's no... just have a look at the terrain. As you see, there's no forest, so it's easier to attack up here with no real penalty. And now let's try and do a little bit of a juggle to make our way up this way as well. It's harder to attack when they're in the forest. They do have that defensive bonus, which I believe is a wonder bonus point. Okay. Over here I'm trying to get rid of his zone of control, and unfortunately I couldn't just scream out this way. The two things I am trying to do, this unit I am trying to take this supply source. These units I am streaming to take this supply source, and in the very least cut off the road. Once I cut off the road, these guys are just going to be on a pathway to starvation in that regard. Or rather, we can suppress their supply. Okay, they do get reinforcements, and they do get a bunch of reinforcements again, I believe in 1 or 2 more turns. So as the enemy tries to retreat and regroup, which seems to be quite common here, we are just going to keep progressing forward. They did cut off my supply in the north, as you can see, and unfortunately they've removed supply here, but we do have resupply powers, I do believe. Unfortunately the storm persisted, so we can't really make too much headway, but we did cut off their supply on the rail here. So these units are now going to be continually suppressed. I would like to reconnect my supply to this unit, but I'm not particularly worried because I can just use my supply powers. And I can let him run one more turn as well, so he is he does lose 2 unit parts, but he will be resupplied in the next turn. Fortunately the storm and definitely the terrain stopped me from hammering down this way, really stopping my movement. Okay, with the rail being more secured, I can disband that unit. If you have only 1 or 2 unit parts in a unit, then really just reorganize them. Sorry, not disband, but reorganize them. Now we put a strong unit into the objective, and we try to clean up any guys on the outside here. And then we can divert our armor off to try to take these 2 points, secure the railroad again, and try to make the squeeze. I only have 1 supply now over here, as you can see, so we're going to try to squeeze down and cut off maybe another unit where we can. Unfortunately I couldn't move into this place here, which was quite a shame. And it looks like, yeah, sometimes I actually forget about my airstrikes, as it's not something I'm particularly focusing on. Okay, so they did come in at turn 3 here. Their turn 3 I should say, which would be our turn 4, but we have to deal with them. Not too much trouble here. They can't really move because of the weather. It's unfortunate I got confined up here. That was very unfortunate. But as you see, we are doing a good job here at cutting off supply. Any weather that affects you will always affect them. So it seems like you get the first one, they get the second one. And again, more bad weather, which is just very unfortunate. It doesn't seem to be something programmed. I think it's more of a random occurrence. Okay, over here we can just hopefully do quite amount of suppression. We still have our resupply ability, so we should be able to resupply this guy, and we're going to do something quite nice here. Destroy this unit. We can still move. We severely damage this guy. We're going to come up, then come back down again. I will admit, when I made this video, I did think that the supply source was here as opposed to here, which is why I didn't move him in here. But still, I'm fine with that because he was only 1 unit, and I wanted to keep these units out of supply. Over here, I'm trying to make a progression back to here and reconnect my supply. I don't want to waste resupplies with these guys, even though they are quite strong. And it's why I'm not going to move this unit. Over here, because they're getting weaker, sometimes I could wait just another turn, but I wanted to progress. And I put my really strong unit, he's a 5-4 as opposed to a 4-3. unit just here. And if I would resupply, I'd resupply this unit. Okay, so now we've cut off this unit from supply, and we have a nice good front. I don't believe he's going to move off in that regard, and we're trying to weaken up the objective. Any suppression we can do is good, because in the next turn we should be able to cut off his supply. Again, the storms are still progressing, unfortunately. Which is a shame. We lost our really strong unit there, which was another shame. Okay, so they're resupplying their objectives and their supply sources, and those units close to their supply sources. So they are using prestige while we are not. So that's quite nice. Now, I will admit, I'm a bit weirded why he put a tank here, as opposed to, say, putting a tank on one of these units. He can't reinforce a unit and put a special step in on the same turn. You can do one or the other, but not both. So over here we're trying to take the supply source itself now that everything's frozen over. And now we're just trying to dig down and really reconnect our supply. We'll get rid of this guy. Because this unit cut off supply, they can't be reinforced this way. Okay, a lot of things have happened. I've also captured their supply source over here. We're trying to make ways over to here. Even with the 2-unit part, if I can destroy the or completely suppress this unit, we can hopefully in the next turn destroy his special step and then get him in the next one. Yep, so look at that, 2 parts. We breach him. Significant amount of damage there. Okay, that was a little bit costly, but that was worth it to clear that out. Now we go, he retreats, and we put that in. So he's now no longer a threat. Perhaps I could have done better to come up here with him and then attack with this unit, but I guess it pays sometimes to look across the river. Really capture this objective as well. We put a unit on it. Sorry, we put a unit on that objective, and then we progress forward. Now I did resupply this guy because I wanted him to be able to convert his I believe his attack point, or to give him that extra movement. I think when units are suppressed, they become less likely to be able to move and take less steps. So we want to make sure that we could definitely capture that in the next turn, because that cuts off all their supply. They have no way of resupplying. These units aren't going to come down here. They're going to try to attack here. But again, I should have taken this with this unit, but I was under the wrong impression there. Also take note that I'm being resupplied from a point over here. I can't connect my road up here. This is too much effort, and I don't have the manpower to throw away to do that. Also, making sure I had a unit in the objective, not doing something stupid, like giving that away. Okay, so they did reconnect the supply, but it doesn't matter. Would like to say it won't matter here because it's not their turn. You get supplied at the start of the turn, not at the end. Okay, now we progress down with that unit that can attack and draw all our attention to here, because now they can't be reinforced. So any damage we do, any suppression we do, is permanent. And we have one more turn after this in which to take this objective. So we are looking very pretty indeed. Again, I'm saving my best attack till last. I want to really get the infantry to do as much damage as they can first. That wasn't really smart of me to do that. I was playing games. Now as you see, I did remove his supply so that they couldn't reconnect. He was in a zone of control, so he can't move anyway over there. And here we have more of a pressure that we lose the river bonus that they were going to attack us. Okay, so these guys are completely incapable of attacking. Over here they can, and I think they will attempt to reconnect to their comrade, but it's just not going to happen. As you see, really we're going to do this in one turn. Dun, 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 dun. And easy done. Not much more. I could have attacked here, probably gained this unit, but objectives are done. Turn 7. Really we won by suppressing their supply. So what to do? All of your units, keep restarting this turn until you have clear weather, and keep restarting until you have this guy relatively suppressed so that you can attack without losing these units. And then these units' primary job is to cut off supply here and eventually take this supply source over here. You want to send one of your units, one of these panzer units, which has the 8 attack, up to here to clear out this area here and to clear out here. Take the objective. These units will try to reconnect and take out these units here, and if possible drive a wedge down here so that less units are of the enemy are exposed to this objective here as you take it. From here you then want to take this unit, progress down here, you want to take the supply to cut them off, and you want to send another motorized unit out this way. Once you've cut them off, and use your supply drops to keep these guys able to attack, but you want to judge it. Now they can be out supply 1 turn and attack, 2 supplies, then you need to 2 supplies or 2 turns, sorry, out of supply, then you need to resupply them with your supply drop power. I believe you have 4 of those, so you can make quite effective use of them. Keep your bridges safe, keep this part safe. Over here you want to attack here and try to come in and defend this, otherwise they'll just stream straight down to here. And you need to be careful to watch that. Once you reconnect here, your supply will be set, and then you keep progressing on. Well, this has been Experience Points. I hope you've gained some experience from watching this video, and happy hunting!